Ah, all right. Welcome to our call, everyone. We are so excited to host this interview style with our test group girls. I have five of our amazing women who joined Meg and I in the test group for Anchor and Rise. Unfortunately, one of our girls wasn't able to make it tonight, and Meg also had prior plans. 'Tis the season, right? But we're making it work with those of us who could make it on tonight. Meg and I have had such a beautiful experience coaching these women, working side by side with these women for the last 13-ish weeks, right? Going through the program, a little bit of prep work, and then going through this last week after closing out. And from Meg and myself, thank you all so much. You seriously were amazing, and you've helped us build something so beautiful, and really bring something that's super deep in our heart, right? You guys know, feeling it from Meg and I in the group these last several weeks, that it's our baby, and you guys helped us form and shape that and bring that to those around us. So thank you so much. I'm going to briefly introduce everyone. So we have Mandy and Cindy, Kayla, Diana, and Megan. They were all a part of our test group. These women are all moms. They're all at different phases of motherhood, right? Some of them have younger kiddos that are going to be in the background popping on because, oh my gosh, there's a camera and we're on Zoom, right? And then we have some that have some young teenagers, some that have college students that are helping navigate that. But I think that that's the beautiful thing that I really want to emphasize is that all of these women have very many different hats that they're wearing throughout every single day. And they are going to share pieces of their story over the last 12-ish weeks, their experience with Anchor and Rise, how they navigated through different seasons. And we just kind of want to share that with all of you. So without further ado, I am going to ask about 6 questions to each of the girls. They're going to unmute and kind of share their story, and we'll kind of try and keep this to about 25-ish minutes. I'm going to first ask Mandy and Cindy. So whoever wants to unmute, I'll have Mandy unmute first, you share, and then that way we keep a little bit of a flow. Okay. So Mandy and Cindy, before you started Anchor and Rise, how were you feeling, physically or mentally? And what made you say yes to doing Anchor and Rise with Meg and I?
Hi, everybody. I'm Mandy. So I have known Corey for over 10 years now. And what made me say yes is I trust her. And she's my friend. She knows what I've been through the last 10 years. I know a lot about her life, and she knows that she's not going to bring me into something that I wouldn't be secure with or confident with. And at first, I was a little nervous because I went into maintenance calories for the first time ever. Tracking maintenance calories was crazy, and putting 2,100 calories into my fitness tracker and hitting that every day with my macros was insane. But the reason why I signed up is because I trust her. And as I went through the program, I found out that it was more than I even anticipated it would be. It was even better. So, um, yeah, I think that answers the question.
And Cindy, would you like to share your story?
Sure. I said yes to, well, I kind of begged to join. I'm not gonna lie. Like when she was putting it out there, I was like, pick me, pick me. Um, I was feeling stuck. I was working out every day. I was following another program. It just wasn't, I just didn't feel connected to it, I guess. I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. And I was just kind of going through like the motions and just, like if I would see something, I would just be like, oh, they're lifting 5 pounds, I'll just lift 5 pounds. There was no challenge. And when I saw this, I really wanted to do something different and have a challenge again. That's what excites me. That gives me like motivation. So when she picked me, I was very excited. And I'm so happy I did because I've learned a whole new way of working out. At first I was scared when you guys told us the format and that it wasn't like following along on a TV. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But honestly, I don't think I can ever go back to another way. Because I just love this way so much. I love turning on the music and just kind of being in my own head and focusing on the moves. And sorry about my daughter. Real life right here. But yeah, like that's why I joined, and I'm like forever grateful to you guys for allowing me to be part of the test group.
Yeah, I love that. And we are, like I said in the beginning, we're so appreciative of all of you for participating in this because it is different, right? This format is very different. And to be in a workout with yourself and learn to trust yourself and listen to yourself and be in that movement, it's a challenge. And there's a little bit of a mental hurdle there at first, right? And I think we can all admit, and even when Meg and I switched to this format, there's a little bit of pushback from your brain, right? Because you've been so used to just watching something on a screen and almost kind of numbing out and just kind of like mindlessly going through your workout. But the beautiful thing is that the results you guys were getting because you were connected to your body and to yourself was incredible, right? Okay, so let's move on. We're gonna ask Megan and Diana. Megan, I'll have you go first. What physical changes or strength wins have surprised you the most during these last 12 weeks?
Hi everyone, I'm Megan. So, kind of like Cindy said, I was going through the motions with another program and was lifting weights. But once I started Anchor and Rise, I really had no clue how much I could actually lift. And the fact that I was continuing to push myself, nobody else was telling me what to do, was so incredible. I have loved lifting weights for a very long time, but I have never truly lifted in this format. I wasn't really strength training to my biggest and fullest potential. So the amount of strength wins that I've had the last 12 weeks is insane. I need so many more weights. I need so much more equipment. Yeah, so that's a work in progress, but how cool to have that problem. Um, and so it's just been so fun to challenge myself, to prove to myself that I am stronger than I ever thought I could be. And there's just a lot more to come to. Physical changes, I roughly lost, it depends on the day, but between 5.5 to 7 pounds, depending on food choices and all that stuff. I was kind of silly and did not do my measurements right away. So I didn't do those till like November. And even from November to the end, I lost some inches. I don't know the exact numbers. But I'm going to tell you, this time last year, from where I am like 15 pounds less than I weighed last year at this time. And it's because I have followed the Anchor and Rise structure and routines and the workouts and the nutrition, of course. And to me, that is just like mind blowing. So just even looking back through the whole year and within the 12 weeks of Anchor and Rise, just the physical changes and how my clothes feel, how I see myself has greatly improved.
Yes, I love that. It's amazing what anchoring habits can do, right? Especially in the chaos of the holidays and everything else. Diana?
Hey, I'm Diana. I'm kind of like with everybody else, like just the amount of weights that I can lift. I always kind of thought I could, but never had enough time with the other programs that I've always done. I'm always following a video, trying to keep up with them, and I'm like running out of breath because I didn't get it, and then I have to check the box. So now I'm behind because they've moved on to the next rep and I'm still not done with this one. So being able to slow down and go at my own pace and actually focus on my muscle and the mind muscle connection and get that going, and then realizing like I can chest press 50-pound weights. Like that's insane. And then I'm like, okay, how much heavier can I go? Do I need a spotter? What do I need now? So, and also, again, I'm the same on the same boat as her. Is that I don't have enough weights now. Now it's, do I get a gym membership so that way I don't keep going? And because I know my husband's going to divorce me if I keep buying more weights, or do I just keep building my gym at home? So, but it is nice to still be able to do that at home, working out and getting all that, being able to focus on myself, take my time. I'm not rushed through with a 20-minute workout because, there's this or that going on. Like I do know how much time it's going to take me. They do last a little bit longer sometimes, but I also kind of vibe out with the music and I'm dancing and I take my breaks a little bit too long or whatever it is, but it's under my time. So that's like the best part about it. My physical changes since the program, I think I was down 9 pounds. I've gotten down to 9 pounds. I think it's like an inch overall for my whole body. But like she said, like Megan said, from like last year, I think I'm down between 12 and 15 pounds from last year. My biggest thing that I was surprised about was that I was actually tracking my food, that I was actually meal prepping, and it no longer felt like it was a chore. It's now something that I use to center myself on my stressful. If everything else is going to crap for the week, I know that on the weekend, like I'm gonna be able to refocus back in, and I will get aligned for the next week and start over again, which is huge because the food has always been an issue. It's always been an issue with getting the right amount of food in, or not enough, or too much, but I'm actually seeing things and the muscles that are popping because of the way that I'm tracking. I'm like, I didn't even know I had that. So it's cool.
Yeah, I love that. And you've done amazing, right? You all have. Okay, so we're going to move on to Kayla and Megan for this question. So, Kayla, you can go first. How has Anchor and Rise changed the way you think about your body, your workouts, or yourself overall?
Hi, I'm Kayla. So with Anchor and Rise, I've noticed an improvement in my posture, especially like seeing the week to week photos, the progress photos that I'm taking. I think something else, so clearly with my posture improving, like I feel like that's given me more confidence. I know my husband has even mentioned like he's noticed changes, which I mean, who doesn't want to hear that from their husband? So that's always a bonus, which just adds to that self-confidence. And I'm someone who I've always struggled with how I feel about my body. Even in elementary school, I remember trying to do Weight Watchers or dieting in fifth grade, and that's so young. But just being a part of this group and learning how to track my nutrition and meet macros and not worry about, okay, I need to work on making my portion sizes smaller because I'm eating too much. Now it's like, okay, I'm in that 2,200 calorie range and I have these macros that I'm hitting, and the scale isn't going up. Like I'm maintaining or I'm going down. And so that is surprising to me, but it feels good too, because I know I'm fueling my body the way that I need to in order to be successful with my workouts. So my confidence has improved. My posture's improved. Other people are seeing the physical changes too. So all of that has really added up to make this a really positive experience.
Thank you. Miss Megan.
I have always struggled with my body and how I view myself. I have ebbed and flowed within the health and fitness era lifestyle for over a decade. And I always was comparing. I was always like, why don't I look like her? Why can't it be like that? Why are my arms thick? Now I have come to terms, and that's not even the right word, but like I have accepted my body for the way it is, because I know I am strong. I know I have muscle there. And I'm never going to be a, a super lean, thin person. That's just not my body type. And that's okay. And I've just come to love my body the way it is, but while doing these workouts and following this nutrition plan, because it's making me I see myself in a more positive light. I am more confident. My clothes are fitting better. Um, I just I know all the hard work that I'm doing is not for anything and or not for nothing. And what I'm doing is working and my body's responding to it. And because of that, like I want to keep going. I want to do what's next. I want to keep going. And so this being part of this test group has really shifted how I see myself and really to stop that comparison game.
Yay, goal accomplished. I think that that's something that, like being in our group, right, that Meg and I really coach you on. Like, it's not about what so and so is doing, it's about you unlocking new levels for you and you being the best version of yourself. And when we can step into that space and give ourselves permission to be who and where we are, and then just growing on our path, it kind of puts those blinders on, right? You kind of like blocks out all the noise of, oh, so and so's, whatever. And then we're constantly squirreled and trying to chase this facade, but not really knowing how to get there. So I love that you mentioned that, Megan. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Cindy and Diana. So, Cindy, I'll have you go first. What habits or routines have stuck with you the most, even on the busy and imperfect days? And I think this is kind of the perfect season, right? Because we've all been so scattered in so many different things. So if you could tell us a little bit about that.
I would say, I mean, every day I get up and I just know I'm going to go downstairs and work out. And if like I make it work for me. If I have to go do catering early, like I'll get up early and do that because that's just something that is non-negotiable for me. But like with this program, I feel like I've been taught that it's okay when I do have a bad day and, like things aren't going the way I want them to. Um, no one's perfect. And I think I'm learning that because before, if I did a program and I wasn't all in and I had like a bad day, I would just kind of fall off the wagon. But this is kind of teaching me like we're all imperfect. Like nobody's gonna be perfect every day, and that's okay. But I always get my workout in. Even when I'm having a bad day, I still get that in. And I'm still hitting my habits. Like I'm drinking the water, I'm getting my steps in. Even if I'm not quite eating in my macros. And there's always tomorrow. Like I don't just say, screw it, I'm done. I know that the next day I can start over. Not start over, but like I just continue on with my habits that I've done. And it's very like, I mean, I'm very consistent, especially with workouts. Like there's just not a day that I don't do it. Even if it's just like walking on the treadmill to get my steps in for an hour. And I've gotten really good at putting in the recovery days because I was that person that was like, I forgot every single day or else I'll fall off the wagon and things don't happen. But you guys have really like taught me like, no, you need those recovery days. And honestly, like my body did need it. So that is something I'm very grateful to have learned, that it's okay to like take, 2 days a week and not push myself. And like, I would say my recovery day was me running 5 miles. And Meg was like, that's not a recovery day, Cindy. Like, so I've learned that it's okay not to run 5 miles on my day that I'm not lifting. So yeah, so because of this program, I think that's really helped a lot.
Yes, you have to take those recovery days, and the warm-ups and cool downs are important so we avoid injury, right? Okay, Diana.
I kind of said a little bit earlier, was my meal prep. It has become my centerpiece now. Like I didn't go for the past 2 weeks. It's just been kind of winging it and just doing what I can. It was somewhat of a meal prep if you call salads every single day, and then I was like, yeah, I'm salad out. Can't do that anymore. I need actual food. But the meal prep has become like my saving grace. That's what gets me re-centered, which I started this week to get me ready to go for next week because I have been like last week was last week. Last week was Christmas. So, and I felt it. I felt it on Saturday because I didn't have my meal prep and I didn't eat the way that I've been eating for the past 2 months. And I felt it all on Saturday when I was doing my AMRAP. So that is my routine because I got the working out part down. I'm able to, I have to do it every day. It's just a thing that has to be done. So I know that it's done and that's not an issue anymore. It's the food. And then now I've seen that switch flip too, because now it's the two of them go together and it is helping me to stay aligned with the goals that I have. So that's mainly like the food one is my biggest routine that I've kept the most.
Yeah, I love it. And I think it's also highlights that like we don't have to check all the boxes every day to see progress, right? That if you're brand new to this, that you might just really focus on getting the workouts in consistently. And then you can habit stack and start making sure you're hitting your steps. And then we add in making sure we're hitting our water. And then we add in, more of our nutrition, but we don't have to go, hit all the boxes right out of the gate and expect ourselves to just figure it out and have it all aligned, right? It's just doing our best and trying to stay focused on those habits that are going to help us move forward. Okay, so now we have Mandy and Kayla. What's one moment during the program where you thought, wow, I'm capable of more than I realized, or an aha that you had while doing the program?
I'm gonna go first. um, so an aha that I had during the program was when I could I shouldn't say easily, I could lift 35-pound weights on both arms doing raises with my shoulders. And I just thought to myself, oh my gosh, I've been holding myself back this whole time. And I could do 4 sets of 10 with 35-pound weights. And when I got done looking at myself in the mirror, I was like, dude, you are a badass. Like, you need to give yourself some credit, right? And so maybe TMI, but when I'm laying in bed and I'm wearing my tank top and my husband grabs onto my biceps and says, babe, your biceps, and we laugh about it, but no, like, let's embrace the strong girl power, right? Let's just do it. And let's embrace the fact that we can lift heavy weights and not be bulky and look lean and strong and beautiful. So that's where we need to trend, right? Those are the trends we need to see on Instagram. Those are the things that we need to empower each other with, And I'm gonna one of you mentioned about comparison, and I do that far too often, far, far, far too often. But I also found myself during the program getting disappointed with myself because I am slower with AMRAPs. And I am not the quickest one when it's the quicker style. Um, but I still get through it. I still connect each day. I still do it. And how many people are sitting on the couch while I'm down in the basement lifting weights, man? So those are my moments. And yeah, strong girls, strong world.
Heck yeah. Plus, you're freaking shoulder raising 35 pounds. Like, who cares if your AMRAP's a little bit slower? You're a beast. My favorite picture is Mandy and I at her wedding this summer, both flexing, and she was in her wedding gown, and I was all dressed up for her wedding, and we're just that Beauty and the Beast, right? Just strong, strong women. I loved it. Kayla, would you like to share with us?
Of course. So mine goes along with the weights as well. So prior to the program, I didn't really understand progressive overload. And so I'm pretty sure the first workout, I'm like, man, this feels a little too easy. And so once I really understood what progressive overload was, um, the following week, I did that same workout and I was able to bump up my weight so much. And like within that first block, I think I was already buying new weights because I didn't have any that were heavy enough. And so, just being able to see that I can lift so much heavier than what I've ever thought I'd be able to do. And I know like one of my aha moments was when we were doing the weighted bench hip thrusts. And I have 40-pound weight. So I had a 40 on each hip. And I got done working out and I looked in the mirror and I'm like, why do I have bruises on my hips? Like I just couldn't figure it out. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh, because I can't really stack 40s on my hips and be doing the bench hip thrust at 80 pounds because that didn't work out too well, clearly. So it's like, okay, I need heavier weights now. I need different equipment now in order to actually lift as heavy as I can, because I definitely felt it with the 80 pounds total, but just the equipment I have. I think the following week I tried to like stack 40 and 30s, and I'm like, no, I've just got to start with new equipment altogether and heavier weights. So that was my aha, just being able to see how strong I actually could lift. And I think part of me is a little competitive. If you ask my husband, I'm more competitive than what I think, but I don't think I'm that competitive. But like seeing everybody post each week, how heavy they lifted and seeing the animals pop up, I was like, okay, I did a bison this week, but this person did a whale. What the hell kind of weights do I need in order to be lifting a whale? So that's my next goal, is to get that whale status instead of just a bison or an elephant, because that's just not enough for me.
Oh, I love it. The animals are our driving force. All right, girls. So we just got our 10-minute warning. So this is the last question, and this is for Mandy and Megan. So Mandy, if you want to go first. If someone watching feels busy, intimidated, or unsure they can stay consistent, what would you tell them about Anchor and Rise?
So the community is so welcoming and so encouraging. And it's almost as if you do want to get on and see how everyone's doing each day, right? And life is always busy. I don't know a time when I'm not busy except for today, maybe because we didn't have anything going on and it was raining outside. But it's always going to be busy. It's what you choose to do, right? So I think learning that having the anchor habits and keeping them and knowing how I feel each day, being consistent with them. And what I mean by that is my sleep, it's a non-negotiable. I have to get 7 hours. 8 is prime, but 7, man, I have to get it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, man, I got to get a gallon of water a day. Otherwise, the next day, what is going on under my eyes? I'm puffy. So it's always going to be busy. It's what you choose to do. And you know what? A happy home starts with a happy mom or a happy girl. And so you have to choose yourself first. And you choose yourself first, you start with those anchor habits, and then you see how you can habit stack, which I've learned from the program as well. And habit stacking is how I got to the point where I can drink a gallon of water a day, where I got to a point where I'm noticing that I need that 8 hours of sleep to be in my prime. So.
Go ahead, Megan.
So I'm someone who asks a lot of questions about something that's new. I have a lot of doubts. I'll be honest, I had a lot of doubts of starting this. I remember asking Meg a lot of questions, and these are all questions that she was going to share with, or answers she was going to share with me, but I needed to know right then and there. And it's scary to start something new, but like Mandy had said, like if you are choosing yourself first, you can do anything. And you need to remember, you do not need to be perfect. It doesn't exist. I'm a teacher, and that word is not like we do not say practice makes perfect. We say practice makes better. And that's what you're here to do. You are here to get better, and better looks different every day. Ever better looks different for everybody. And it's okay that if you don't want to do the workout that's scheduled for the day. It's okay to choose to take a rest day at a different time or choose a different workout. And that's something I had to tell myself because I am very much a follow it by the book, how it's laid out. But once you are anchored in those habits, you won't want to miss it. Even in the busiest times and days, you will make it work because of the way it makes you feel.
Yes, those anchoring habits keep us anchored, right? They keep us grounded so that we feel centered with all the chaos, right? Okay, girls, we have like just over 5 minutes. Does anybody want to unmute or share or say anything that we didn't touch on that you have on your heart? No? Okay, so I will go ahead and wrap things up then. Megan, I appreciate all of you so much for helping us build this program, for your feedback, for your trust in us. This was something so different for all of you. And I'm not going to cry, but just know that we so appreciate you. We loved every minute of coaching you girls through this and seeing you build that belief in yourself, building that trust within yourself when you were questioning things or you were struggling through different challenges, because we all face them, right? And that's what you get when you come in the group, right? Is you have that love and support because over 12 weeks, we all had challenges, right? Every single one of us at one point, there was something that was on our plate that was pulling us, but we all kept each other engaged and loved each other through those moments. And I just really want to reiterate that you girls are amazing. We loved every minute of this process. We thank you so much. We're so excited to welcome the new crew to start with all of us on January 5th. So thank you for being on this tonight. And for those of you who are watching the replay, if you have any further questions or a thought after you watch this video, just drop it in the comments below and Meg and I will be sure to answer that. Okay?